The Second Industrial Revolution was a period of rapid industrial and technological development that took place between the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It built on the innovations of the First Industrial Revolution, but introduced new materials, energy sources, and production methods that transformed industries, economies, and societies. This revolution reshaped agriculture, transportation, and communication, leading to significant changes in everyday life. In this video, we're going to have a closer look at its causes, the major changes it brought about, and the consequences. Let's get started. Causes of the Second Industrial Revolution. Several key factors contributed to the rise of the Second Industrial Revolution. First, new materials and energy sources. The discovery and mass production of steel and cement allowed for the construction of stronger buildings, railways, and machinery. Fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas provided a powerful and efficient energy source to drive industries and transportation. The most revolutionary energy source, however, was electricity. It replaced steam as the primary power source for industries, making production more efficient and enabling the development of new technologies. Second, advancements in science and medicine. Scientific progress led to better medical care, vaccines, and improved hygiene, which reduced disease and increased population growth. This growing population provided more workers and consumers for expanding industries. Third, improved transportation and communication. The expansion of railways, steamships, and the introduction of cars allowed goods and people to move faster and farther than ever before. Meanwhile, the telegraph and telephone made long-distance communication quicker and more reliable, helping businesses grow and coordinate production. Fourth, economic and political factors. Governments supported industrial growth by investing in infrastructure, promoting education, and protecting industries with tariffs. The rise of capitalism and banking systems allowed businesses to access capital for large-scale industrial projects. Major changes during the Second Industrial Revolution. The Second Industrial Revolution led to significant transformations in many aspects of life. First, in manufacturing and production. The introduction of new machinery and assembly lines allowed industries to produce goods on a much larger scale. Factories became bigger and more efficient, leading to lower production costs and cheaper products for consumers. Then, the role of electricity. The widespread use of electricity transformed industries and daily life. Factories began using electric motors, making production faster and more precise. Electric lighting improved working conditions and extended working hours. The use of electricity also led to the development of electric streetcars and subways, revolutionizing urban transportation. Plus, urbanization and mass migration. Millions of people moved from rural areas to cities in search of factory jobs. Industrial cities grew rapidly, but living conditions for workers were often poor, with overcrowding and lack of sanitation. Many people also migrated from Europe and Asia to industrialized nations like the United States, seeking better opportunities. Moreover, there were important changes in agriculture. Mechanization and improved farming techniques increased food production, requiring fewer workers on farms. As a result, more people left agricultural work and joined the industrial workforce. Another important element was the expansion of business and wealth concentration. Large corporations and monopolies dominated industries such as steel, oil, and railroads. Wealthy industrialists like John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie controlled vast amounts of capital and resources, while small businesses struggled to compete. Lastly, the rise of labor and worker rights movements. Poor working conditions, low wages, and long hours led to the rise of trade unions and labor movements. Workers organized strikes and protests, demanding better rights and protections. Over time, governments introduced labor laws to improve working conditions. Consequences of the Second Industrial Revolution. The long-term effects of the Second Industrial Revolution were both positive and negative. Let's consider economic growth and global trade. Industrialization led to economic expansion and increased global trade. Industrialized nations sought new markets and raw materials, fueling economic growth. However, it also led to economic exploitation in colonized regions. The same goes for imperialism and colonization. Industrialized countries expanded their influence worldwide, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The rich Western nations sought resources to fuel their industries, but that was often achieved at the expense of local populations, who faced forced labor and exploitation. There are pros and cons in technological and social advancements too. New technologies improve daily life, making transportation and communication faster and more efficient. The spread of electricity led to new inventions such as household appliances, electric street lighting, and mass media, which changed how people lived and worked. However, industrialization also deepened social inequalities, as the gap between the rich and the working class widened. There was also resistance to industrialization. Some workers, known as Luddites, protested against machines that replaced human labor by destroying factory equipment. This resistance highlighted concerns about job losses and the harsh realities of industrial work. All in all, the Second Industrial Revolution laid the foundation for modern industrial economies. Many of today's industries, cities, and global connections can trace their roots back to this period. In conclusion, the Second Industrial Revolution was a time of incredible technological and economic progress, but it also created social and political challenges. It transformed industries, cities, and societies, shaping the modern world in ways that continue to influence us today. On the one hand, it brought innovation and economic growth. On the other hand, it led to difficult working conditions, urban overcrowding, and global inequalities. Understanding this period helps us see both the benefits and challenges of industrialization and its ongoing effects on our world.